Hmm. What's up, everybody? It's Pope Service. Bringing you a much needed to get through last couple weeks. I don't even want to talk about Batman, to be honest with you. Banjax number 4, huh? Anybody Ban Jackson out there? Look, I just want to say the thing about the Batman thing, just because I love Batman, and some things are just not necessary. Red Koi. This book is awesome in that it is very well drawn, it is very well presented, and more particularly, it's $1.50. Hashtag Danger, still going strong at issue 5. We got one of my favorite finds of last week was the Lola XOXO number 3, number 15, number 75. No, it's number 2. That series just started up again. Ronan Island, skull with a sword in it. I bought it for that alone. Sink. I don't really know what to tell you about that book. Yeah. Berserker Unbound. You know, I didn't actually crack this one. Hang on, let's crack this one right now. Oh. Alrighty. Very happy to have found this. This was great. The issue 1. Oh, this got stuck. Okay. This Boogly Heads number 2. The issue 1 was fantabulous. It was really cool, and obviously in that goth vein of Squee and Johnny and things like that. But really looking forward to reading that book, and I didn't see a whole lot of that. Love Town number 4. Still happy to be finding that places. William the Last. William the Last number 3, I believe, of... Or is that a number 1? Oh, no, this is number 1 of the 3rd volume. Canto. Got the Canto. And I was able to finally find or buy this, which actually I like this cover much better. So, cool with that. I did circle back on a different day, and Pandemica, the art and the concept was really cool. I hope I can keep finding that. Great cover here to issue 8 of Analog. What an awesome cover. Oh, I spoke too soon. Awesome covers of Die number 6. I did finally find a copy. And look at this stunner. Holy smokes. Admittedly, I have to say that while I have all of the Die stuff, I haven't read it and don't necessarily care to, and I know it's a great story, but it's just one I've seemed to have put in firmly in timeout for a while. You know, just so much more out there. Like Gogor number 5, huh? Let's see Gogor on the inside. Anybody out there? Anybody Gogoring it? Okay. Another great cover, Isola number 9. Reaver, intriguing if nothing else. Yeah. Really happy with Jason Aaron and his Sea of Stars storyline. Whew. Sea of Stars. All right, I'm a little embarrassed that, I might complain a lot or talk a lot about prices of comics too high and this and that. And so I bought an issue of Spawn for $7.99. And then, of course, I'm collecting a black and white run of Spawn, so I had to buy the black and white too. I love both those covers, and that's where I drew the line. Done. Trees. I'm actually quite surprised at the issues of the Volume 1 trees that I don't have. I have quite a lot, but I was surprised by what I did not have. Look at this great cover to Daredevil 11. That reminds me almost of that cover of Banjax, when I started this whole thing. Having to continue buying Immortal Hulk Ross covers, you know. And big Thor fan, as everyone might imagine. So I had to get King Thor. Just like that Ribbit cover. Very happy. This book from Mythos. This book was one I was so happy to have found. And truth of the matter is, I think I can still find a stack. A comic store I went to had a stack of like 20 of these. But everywhere else I thought was gone. But I really like the art on the inside, and I'm cool with that. Punisher. I've just been keeping up with Punisher. Dark Age. And The Mall. I don't have any of the special covers, but I have the whole run of The Mall so far. Also managed to find Floppy Cop. This one is the Bloom County. The Bloom County homage cover, I guess. And then Floppy Cop number 5. You know, sometimes comics are just to make you laugh, man. You know, anybody remember the Arsenic Lullaby comic? Jeez, one of the greater comics. And I was going 2 copies of Samurai Grandpa, just because. Some pickups here now. Let's start. Let's start right here first. So we got Defender 17. I'm gonna say I won this in an auction. This and the next book, the Submariner 35. This Defenders is in really good shape, actually. You know, 7s, 8s, somewhere in that vicinity. It's a nice condition book. So I was really happy to get that. Sadly, I need the books on either side of this. I need a 16 and an 18. Are the books I'm really looking for in Defenders. But anyway, I was happy to get that. And then this one here. This is a second copy of this, but this is a really good, solid copy. I'm happy to have it. And a little rough in that upper right corner. But hey, it was fairly inexpensive. And then speaking of fairly inexpensive, this book here, I managed to find this. That whatever that is not in the book. The book itself is beautiful. Near flawless copy. I know there's a proliferation of these because they're all over the place. But for what people are putting it on the wall and trying to sell it for, I got this one for much, much, much less. Lastly, over here, let me do this first. Oh boy. Yeah. So this last week I ended up with Second Coming. Number 3. Really like that book from Ahoy. Always happy when I find an issue of Blood Realm. That's been a tough book to find, especially in a good shape. Sometimes with the alternatives, you have to just take what you get. Shout out to Chino specifically, and of course Chino's Comics and Inhuman X and Manny. But he just told me, he just straight up goes, dude, just buy Once in Future. And I was like, done. All right, bro, I'll pick it up. Black Hammer, that's a favorite of mine. I gotta read, I gotta catch up. I haven't read any of this Age of Doom, unfortunately. So, what kind of a fan am I, huh? Strayed, that's number 2. Kind of like that cover in there. Oh, I always say it one too soon. Oh, this cover was awesome. And I also hear that there's a Virgin cover kicking around to this. This would be one of those covers. you would want in a Virgin from Lucio Perillo. Right on. I buckled. I decided to get even though I actually liked the other cover as well, I buckled and got the photo. So I think overall that's probably maybe a better idea. Although the sentiment of the other cover, I think, propels the story a little bit better. That's a better image. My image is solid on this image book, Middle West. That's great. I can't wait to maybe have my boys start reading Middle West soon. Also very, very, very happy to have found this Zafino variant for the latest issue of Rumble. At the very last second, it was just within arm's reach, and I reached over and I put this copy of Butcher Queen on the pile, and I put back a Marvel book, and it made me feel good. I was happy. I hope everyone loves what they love and this and that, but as you can see, man, between Butcher Queen and then probably my favorite book possibility of this last week was the Forever Maps #1. Also, Test. I don't know about you, but this book has been tough to find, at least where I was at. And every time I see it, I only see 1 or 2 copies, and I usually buy both of them. But I only found 1 this last week. High Level, #6. Pretty much, buying Vertigo until there is no more Vertigo to buy. But I'm sticking there with High Level. And, of course, one of my favorite books of this last year was this Lucifer books. Oh. I've read up to issue 9, and I don't expect it would have dropped off that much, but I need to catch up on my Lucifer. Alrighty. One of my favorite books from Marvel this last week was this black and white promo of Spider-Man #1, and that is exactly how I like to get my Spider-Man and Marvel. It's free. Wonder Woman, had to get these because they were J.G. Jones covers. I actually found the whole run from 201 to the very last issue, which is 225, I think. These J.G. Jones covers, though, are just awesome, and I specifically got this one because of the Batman appearance. That's 203. So, for all you who like J.G. Jones, don't sleep on some of these cool Wonder Woman offers. Lastly, I did find some really cool independents. The Ballad of Sleeping Beauty. This is a little mini series, but it's just an odd thing. It's not what you expect. It's kind of, this issue anyway, is like a Western. And it was signed down in the corner. So, really awesome. And then another cool indie from Slave Labor is Paris, #1. I can't remember if this was a 4-issue or an ongoing. I don't know. I don't remember. But inside is very eclectic and very Paris. So I kind of dug it. I also ended up getting a one of these covers. I forgot to mention, yeah, all those last few books, the Wonder Womans, and those were all for $1. Those were my dollar finds. But this one here, this particular one, is the Sex Cop issue, where Chip Zdarsky and the artists are depicted on the front in front of a chick in a cop uniform. Last but not least, I wanted to official shout out now to Manny. This book here, bro, I almost got around to selling fairly recently. But I wasn't selling to someone who wanted it. I was selling to some dealery kind of guy. My only problem with this book is that right here there's a little chip taken out of the cover. Otherwise, it's in really, really good, solid shape. That book, and then, of course, this one, which I'm curious to know, how the books tan over the years, maybe. Because this book seemed to be a little bit whiter when I remembered it. but still in fantastic, fantastic shape. You know, I don't know much about the potentiality of grading. I mean, I know that's a high grade book, but 9.0s, 9.2s, I'm not sure. Love Molten Man, so having his first appearance is great. And if you guys can, looking over all the books and whatnot, I don't know. Hopefully, it inspires someone else to re-examine comics again. Um, not in a pretentious way. I'm just in a way that casts the net wider. Comics are not superhero comics, um, and yet they are. I don't know. It's a really interesting question, man. These are interesting times. So there you go. This was just a cool shout out. Um, Manny, if you see this, man, and you're interested in either of these books, I would offer them up to you. So let me know. Anyway, peace out. It's Pope Cerebus, and yeah, man, comics are cool. My favorite quote. I'm going to end this with this. My favorite quote was from Mallrats. Just because a guy likes comics doesn't mean he can't start some shit. Later.